Have you ever wondered what really happens when we die? Is death truly the end of everything, or the beginning of something else? And if there is something beyond, why has no one ever come back to tell us the whole truth? Death, the greatest mystery of life. From the moment we're born, one thing is certain. One day, we will die. But what comes next? That question has haunted humanity since the very beginning. From the first cave dwellers to modern scientists at NASA, everyone has searched for the same answer. Let's go back to the beginning. Back to the time when humans were just starting to understand what life even meant. In ancient cave paintings, archaeologists found early burial rituals. Bodies buried with tools, food, and flowers. It was as if people already believed that death wasn't the end, but a doorway to something else. Around 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, that belief reached its peak. Egyptians thought the soul left the body and began a long journey to the afterlife. That's why mummification was invented, to keep the body intact so the soul wouldn't lose its way. In the Book of the Dead, it's written that the soul must pass through 12 gates before reaching the land of eternity. Meanwhile, in the East, other civilizations took a different path. In ancient India, the idea of reincarnation was born, the belief that the soul is reborn in a new body after death, continuing its journey until it reaches liberation, called moksha. In ancient China, Taoist philosophy said that death is simply transformation. Like a river merging into the sea, our energy changes form but never disappears. And even today, nearly 80% of people on Earth still believe in some kind of life after death. But as science advanced, this mystery entered a new chapter. Medicine and technology allowed us to come closer to death without actually dying. In the 1970s, American doctor Raymond Moody published a book called Life After Life. He studied more than 100 people who had near-death experiences. Over 60% reported seeing a bright light. About 30% felt they were floating above their bodies. And almost all of them described an overwhelming sense of peace. But what does that mean? Does the soul really leave the body? Or is the brain simply creating visions as it shuts down? In 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan studied dying mice and discovered something fascinating. Just before death, brain activity surged dramatically, more intense than during normal waking life. Maybe that light and peace people describe are the brain's final burst of consciousness. Still, the story didn't end there. In 2022, scientists recorded the brainwaves of an 87-year-old man who suffered a heart attack during an EEG test. The data showed brain patterns similar to those that occur when we recall memories. So perhaps that famous saying, "Your whole life flashes before your eyes," was never just a metaphor. Meanwhile, religions around the world have their own interpretations. In Christianity, the soul faces judgment, heaven or hell. In Islam, the soul waits in Barzakh, the realm between worlds. And in Buddhism, even heaven and hell are temporary, part of an endless cycle until the soul finds true enlightenment. But let's bring it to the present. Today, death isn't only a religious or natural event. It's becoming a field of science and technology. In the US, companies like Alcor cryonically freeze human bodies, hoping that one day science will bring them back. Over 500 people have already been preserved, each paying between $80,000 and $200,000 now, a modern attempt to escape death. And now, artificial intelligence has joined the game. Some startups use people's data, voices, and messages to create digital replicas of the deceased. Family members can even chat with AI versions of lost loved ones. It's a new kind of afterlife, one that exists on the servers of Silicon Valley. At the same time, modern medicine redefines death itself. It's no longer a single moment, but a process. Doctors have found that some cells in the body remain active for hours after the heart stops beating. It's as if the body refuses to surrender, even when the brain has already gone quiet. But the biggest question remains, is consciousness just a product of the brain? Or is there something beyond matter? something that continues after the body fades away? In 2014, a global study called AWARE examined more than 2,000 patients who were clinically dead for several minutes. Nearly 40% reported some form of awareness, even when their brains showed no measurable activity, a phenomenon that still challenges modern science. Yet through all these centuries, from ancient tombs to modern labs, one thing stays the same: our fear of disappearance and our hope for continuation. Death, as terrifying as it seems, has forced us to understand life itself. Maybe without death, life would have no meaning. Maybe it's because we know our time is limited, that love, creation, and purpose feel so precious. But what if science someday conquers death? Would we still value life the same way? Or would immortality become its own kind of death? As Socrates once said, death may be the greatest of all blessings for a human being, if only we understood it. But can we ever truly understand it? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere beyond that light where science and faith meet. And all we can do is wonder, imagine, and believe. Now it's your turn. What do you think happens after death? Is it the end or just another beginning? Share your thoughts in the comments, because maybe that conversation itself brings us one step closer to understanding the greatest mystery of all.